Welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video, guys. My name is Patrick, aka Chief Pat, and today we're going to be hopping into another episode on my main account where we've actually won about 23 straight battles in a row. I think maybe one of those was a draw, so call it 22-0-1. But we've gone 23 straight battles without losing so far in this season, and I'm trying to keep the undefeated streak alive by playing a couple more battles. So starting it off, we're going to be playing a level 13, and as you guys might notice, I'm still using that deck that I showed you guys inside of that last video. Gonna play a zap to make sure I stop that mini P.E.K.K.A, and then my mini P.E.K.K.A actually will be able to reach the princess and kill her before the minions are able to take my mini P.E.K.K.A out. So far so good. My minions are gonna start running down the lane. Let's do a Hog Rider Goblin push and to see what our guy can do to counter us. So a zap's gonna go down. I'll play my princess to kill those guards, as well as get some additional damage off against the tower. He's gonna play his miner directly on top of my princess, and then I'll probably have to stop this miner right here with a couple of guards and to reset the battle. So far so good. We've chipped over 1100 damage off of his tower, and I'd say the elixir is pretty even right now. I am worried about that level 5 princess. If it gets too close and starts raining down on my tower, I'll definitely be in a lot of trouble. So let's go ahead and wait for that princess to lock onto our tower. Then we'll drop our minions immediately afterwards, and they'll be able to take her out fairly simply. Now with his minions, obviously having the tower is going to help him out a lot, but we're able to actually get a decent amount done against those minions, and that mini P.E.K.K.A is going to hang out right there. My princess will be able to shoot that mini P.E.K.K.A and help kill it, but the mini P.E.K.K.A actually is going to get a hit off on my princess and end up killing her. So everything was going swimmingly right until right then, where the mini P.E.K.K.A killed my princess, just a half second too late to actually end up taking that mini P.E.K.K.A out, so it evened the damage of the towers to about 300 damage between us. Now the one awkward thing about this deck is there isn't really always a great card to play to start it off. It's a little bit weird, but he does play an elixir pump right here, so at this point I know it's my time to strike. We just went into double elixir, and having a 5 elixir lead from a fresh elixir pump means we can play our free spell and should be able to get a decent amount of value, but our free spell just barely missed his mini P.E.K.K.A. That is so annoying, plus my own mini P.E.K.K.A decided to target the guard instead of his, so what looked like it could have been a potential tower takedown right there by having the free spell hit that mini P.E.K.K.A ended up being barely any damage against his tower before take a look at my princess go full hero mode and end up taking out both of his princesses in a single shot. So really awesome stuff. I've got my zap prepared for the guards. Hog Rider's going to end up getting a single shot off against the tower. We're both just chipping away at each other's towers right now, using very similar decks, except for the fact that he has the elixir pump, so things are pretty tense. I've got to make sure that I don't do anything too crazy. I've got the mini P.E.K.K.A running down the lane, the princess as well to help out. The princess should be able to take out those minions before the P.E.K.K.A smacks her in the face, and it's really hard for either one of us to gain ground right now, and we're sort of just going back and forth on defense and offense, trying to crack our way to a win. Now my Hog Rider's running down the lane. I'm saving up for a free spell. I place my free spell just as the miner goes down onto the tower. The Hog Rider's going to keep slapping away, and a perfectly timed free spell will finally end up giving us the game, with our Hog Rider just having a sliver of HP left. So that is 24 straight battles without losing on this account. Definitely a little bit of a tough one for 22. Let's go ahead and hop into the next battle right here, where it looks like we're going to be squaring off against a level 11. So we're going to have to do our best to check out what type of cards this guy has. Normally people who are level 11 this high up have completely maxed out cards. It's just their king towers that are a little bit whack. So you can see he has a level 11 elixir pump, which is completely maxed out, just like any level 13. His mini P.E.K.K.A is level 13, which is completely maxed. His musketeer is level 13, which is completely maxed. So most of his cards are completely maxed out, except for the fact that his towers do a reduced amount of damage. Now, looks like my princess is going to keep firing away at that tower right there, and with one final hit, she's going to bring the tower down to 25 HP before a fully maxed out giant makes its way down the lane. Now, while the musketeer locks onto my mini P.E.K.K.A, minions should be able to kill that musketeer. Giant's only going to get a couple of hits off against the tower, and so far so good, and we can zap that tower down to take the very first tower of the game. So really nice initial push by us. Him playing that early elixir pump obviously gave us the opportunity to storm one side of his base, which of course is the strategy, but take a look at what he does. He plays his elixir pump too close to his tower. Notice how my princess's damage is also going to end up hitting that elixir pump. So I ended up playing the princess just to make sure I got another hit off on that pump. Guards are going to make their way down the lane. I've got my own guards to counter. Look at where I place them to make sure that I kill that musketeer before I do anything else. Everything's going really well so far, and even with that elixir pump down, I'm not really worried. So Hog Rider's going to start making its way down the lane. I'll play some minions as well as he does a counter push in the right-hand side. Hog Rider's going to start doing work. I've got the mini P.E.K.K.A for his giant. I'm not even going to focus on the left-hand side because my minions were doing so much work that they took the tower out by themselves. Meanwhile, on the left, I've got my zap spell, and look at the zap. I stopped the prince in its tracks so it doesn't get any charge damage off against my tower, and we've dominated this game so far. He has completely maxed out cards except for his epics are level 7, except for level 8. Of course, we do have the tower advantage, which helps out a lot, but things are looking pretty good, and now we just have to take down that king tower to effectively wrap up this game. Alright, so princess in the back. We've got the minions as well. I think he has that poison, so those are probably going to, the poison spell is probably going to go down right now. At this point, I could play my own mini P.E.K.K.A to try to stop his push. But yeah, we might just lose this tower, sort of getting lazy with what we're doing on defense. So first tower of the game for us is going to go down. I'll play a princess to stop him on the right. The princess actually not very well placed to where she's going to die from the musketeers. So getting a little bit sloppy towards the end of this game. I knew it was all but over, so started being a little bit of an idiot as far as how I played my cards. At this point, I can just go full spam mode. I can drop all my stuff on his side of the map. We can drop the Hog Rider. We can drop the princess. He'll play a giant on our left-hand lane and the mini P.E.K.K.A to stop our Hog Rider. But that's going to do it for this game, guys. 7 seconds left. The giant definitely not going to be able to do enough damage. And it's going to be a pretty clean 2-crown-to-1 victory as we keep our winning streak alive. So 25 games without losing on my main account. Not a bad start to the season so far. Obviously, it is only, I believe, day 2 or 3 of the season. So got to make sure we keep pushing our way up. Let's go ahead and finish off with one more battle against Satan. And this is going to be another level 13, which surely should put up a bit of a task. So let's go and play the minions in the back. I've got the Hog Rider prepped in case he goes on defense, which obviously he will. Hog Rider, goblins, minions, and a zap spell. Look at the zap. The zap's going to dominate absolutely everything. His wizard should be able to splash out those minions right there, so he did do a decent job defending those. But now here comes the counter push with the giant and the wizard. Now, of course, I'm not going to drop my mini P.E.K.K.A onto the giant. I'm going to drop it right onto the wizard right there. My guards are going to start chipping away at that giant. Unfortunately, the mini P.E.K.K.A is going to start doing work as well. The zap really doesn't do too much except for slow my guards down just a bit, and at this point I'm really regretting not playing my minions earlier. I should have played my minions earlier to help out against the giant, but instead I'll throw a small counter push where my princess looks like she's going to get a decent amount of damage on both the tower as well as the musketeer, and I'm even going to zap down the musketeer so my princess stays alive, gets another hit off against that tower, and overall I got some pretty decent value. So goblins to stop these minions. Don't want to let those minions get too much damage off against my tower. Obviously those goblins were strictly defensive, and at this point he's going to play the first elixir pump of the game and try to gain that elixir lead on me. So I think he might be like he was one elixir up before playing that pump, as well as he has 200 damage on his tower above me. So I am a little bit behind, but still I'm not too worried. I haven't revealed my secret free spell just yet, and I feel like that's going to be what changes the tone of the game. So Hog Rider plus the mini P.E.K.K.A are going down. I tried to do a little bit of a weird hog push. It didn't work out. I've got the zap spell, which I played instead of my free spell. I just did not have enough elixir left. My mini P.E.K.K.A does end up getting a shot off on the tower though. That's all I wanted from that push, and now the tower's all the way down to 333 HP, and we're looking really good going into the rest of the battle. Now these goblins were just half a second too early, so the prince or the wizard took them out in one shot. And because of that, we lost our princess as well as took a single shot against our tower. Again, he's going to play another elixir collector in the bottom left, which means he must be confident that he's going to take my tower out, or else he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So let's go ahead and play a mini P.E.K.K.A to stop that giant. We've got the guards beating down on it as well. We've got a princess to help out, which will be just out of range of that poison before she inevitably walks inside of it. And now I'm going to go for a little bit of counter push down the left-hand lane in case things go to overtime. I don't want to have too many eggs inside of the same basket. So getting ready to freeze. Look at this absolutely miserable free spell. Whew, that one was not too pretty. I should have edited that out, but yeah, let's play a guards on top of the musketeer. Poison spell's not going to do enough damage to kill my tower, so he has to find a way to attack my tower with something else, or this game's going to be over. 9 seconds left. I've got the mini P.E.K.K.A to start slapping away at that giant. He's got his minions floating through the air. I've got my minions just before the zap spell goes down. That's going to be the game, and another 1 crown to 0 victory to keep our streak alive of 26 straight games without a loss. So of course, got to show you guys my battle log to see what's up. You can see right here all these games over and over. There was that one draw right there. I think that's the only draw I had. So 25 wins and a single draw since we started this season. So pretty fun stuff. A lot of those were 3 crowns as well, as you saw in that previous video. And yeah, that is pretty much going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you drop a like. Again, here's the deck that I'm playing. It's really fun and super cheap. It does require that princess though, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.